You are about to experience a level of nerd never before seen or heard. The Dorkfather has summoned his associates. Together they have formed the Nerds with Curds Network. Joshua Turbo, the greatest underscore in the multiverse. Xavier Michaels, now broadcasting on Channel 79. Greg Berlin and his upcoming podcast, Bikini Bistro of Sin, along with the Dorkfather. Let the Nerds with Curds replenish your cup of pop culture. And now, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. He invented the hula hoop and exclamation points, broadcasting live deep underneath his parents' basement, and the holder of the Intercontinental World Vice Championship of the planet, Ryan the Dorkfather Schwartzman.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Dorkfather channel on a special Tuesday night stream. I'm Ryan the Dorkfather Schwartzman, and in the studio tonight we have Frank Bacon.
Howdy.
And Zach Bacon. Hi. And it's going to be a different stream tonight. Oh, I need to turn that down because we're getting feedback. It's going to be a little different stream tonight. This is more of a learn how to play a game stream. I'm going to be asking some questions. Matter of fact, you're not going to hear much from me. I'm actually getting ready for tomorrow night's stream. Hair versus hair. Stratego between amigos with Greg. And we're going to go do a video quick, and we'll be right back. This Wednesday at 7:30 on the NerdCast with your host, the Dorkfather. You have heard of Ali and Frazier, David and Goliath, the Packers and the Bears, and now the greatest rivalry of all time, the Dorkfather and Greg Berlin go head-to-head in a hair-for-hair match on Stratego between amigos.
Hello, Ryan. This is Greg, your old adversary. Stratego between amigos. It's getting personal now. I don't think you understand. You're dealing with the 5th grade champion. See this? See what that is right there? See that? That's called hair. Enjoy it. You'll have it for the next 6 days, or whenever this airs. But May 3rd, yours is coming off. And I don't think you fully realize it yet. I have other things to say and stuff, but blah, 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 tough guy talk. Yeah, you know what's coming. You'll hear my footsteps, don't you? I know you do. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Greg Berlin, this Wednesday at 7:30. You and I, Greg Berlin, Beaver, will be playing Stratego between amigos. You may be the 18th grade world champion 2 times over, but I am the Dorkfather. But that night, I'm going to put on a different hat. And I am a man of many hats, with many skills. One of them is gaming. And you're about to find out why I am the Dorkfather. I'm going to take off my host hat for the night. Will I put on the Ace hat? No, sirree. I am not at Ace Hardware. Will I put on the Evercon hat? No! I am not at Evercon. The hat I'm going to put on that night is my Wargamers hat. Because we're going to war, Berlin, Beaver, and you better be ready, because the Dork Father is always ready. All right, once again, tomorrow night, Sassy Girl. You should be confused. We're doing a special edition with Frank Bacon here and his son Zach. We're actually going to be doing just a game tonight. So it will be Wednesday night for Greg and I's Stratego Between Amigos. I'm not even wearing my hat. That's how unusual this is tonight.
Special occasion.
It is a special occasion. Frank and Zach are from Comm Armory, and that is an old event, which I need to get rid of. We'll get rid of that. Frank, go ahead and explain Comm Armory for a little bit.
Comm Armory is just a partnership with Dorks of the North currently. Little gaming store here in Merrill, Wisconsin, and basically pushing the miniature side of things. And this great game here, Warhammer Underworlds, has a brand new release of a new season coming out Saturday. So we're just trying to build a little excitement here tonight with Ryan. And Zach's probably going to kick my butt, but we'll see how it is.
Yeah. So tonight is going to be strictly, and I got to get used to, I'm used to looking at the monitor on that side where Zach is when I'm talking. I need to talk right here. So we're just doing a game tonight. I'm going to be not actually saying too much. I'm just going to ask some questions if some stuff comes up. I'm going to be watching the chat. If you have any questions, I'm going to answer them. Otherwise, for the most part, I'm going to leave this to Zach and Frank and come in, and we'll do a couple little breaks. What else do you do? But before we get going, at Comm Armory, what else do you sell? I mean, you have an online store?
We have an online store, NordCommArmory.com. You can do most of our shopping online there. You can pick it up in store. You can I can ship it right to you. We also do board games. We do Magic, getting into Pokemon a little bit. So kind of the full friendly local game store.
Yep. So for everyone that's tuning in, again, tomorrow night is the hair versus hair Stratego Between Amigos, and it's going to be pretty awesome. But tonight, it's all about some games. See you tomorrow, Sassy Girl. Thanks for tuning in. You'll be seeing me. That is for certain. All right, Frank, I'm going to put this here. And you guys have full control over the cameras and where you want things to go.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have the boards covered here, so Zach and I'll pick our boards to start with. When we start a game of Warhammer Underworlds, everybody picks a board. You got different boards from different seasons. You're going to have some different terrain features on some of the different boards. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose which boards we're going to play on tonight.
All right. So, in Warhammer, go ahead and start doing that. Warhammer Underworlds, is it part of the 40K universe, or is it part of fantasy, or is it a combination thereof?
It's basically underneath the Age of Sigmar. So
Age of Sigmar is the updated fantasy, right?
Updated fantasy,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's. I'm pretending I don't know as much as I know.
Okay.
On there.
Yeah, so what it is there's all these caverns and corridors underneath the mortal realm.
Okay.
And these explorers go down there and they're searching for glory.
Okay.
Glory points can be any little thing from gold to weapons to whatever they can possibly find in there. And right now we're in the last few days of the Gnarlwood season. Right over here.
Yep. All right.
See if you can see that there.
Oh, yeah?
So we're about to release a new season where they're going farther into the Gnarlwood now. They're going deeper underground. And they're going into what's going to be called Weird Hollow coming out Saturday.
So is each one of those an actual starter set? And then when they're done with that season, there's a new starter set with just new miniatures and everything?
It's a core box is what it is. This is kind of the two-player starter set. If you've never played before, this is an inexpensive place to start. Comes with 2 simple war bands to play. Some relatively simple boards. You're going to see one of their boards right here tonight, which I chose.
Yep.
And then every time a new season comes out, they release 2 war bands with the box, so you automatically get 2 war bands.
All right.
A couple different ways to play the game is we're going to play a rivals format, which is what we're doing here. You get a deck of cards with each one of your war bands. Basically, it's shuffle and play.
Okay.
All the models are push fit, so there's not a lot of gluing or anything involved. You just cut them out of the sprue, push them together, and they hold together pretty well.
All right. Okay. Well, could you just go over? Okay, you're gonna do the boards.
Yep.
And then could you just go over what a general character looks like on the card?
General characters on the cards here. Let's do Thane fourth and last. He's kind of my favorite guy here. See if I can get up close enough to the camera here. How's that look there, Ryan?
Oh, that looks pretty. Let's see here.
All right.
I'll hold.
All right. So you see the first number 3 there. Right.
Cameras
there.
are hard.
That is the amount of movement that each character gets. Next to it is a save. He'll be looking for shields on the defense dice, and he gets to roll 1 dice. And the red 3 is his number of wounds. Below that, they're going to have attack statuses on there for their different weapons. In this case, he only has the 1 weapon. So he's going to get 2 dice, and he's going to look for double swords on the attack dice. And if it succeeds, it's going to do 2 damage to Zach's guys.
Okay.
And then there's a standard side, which you're looking at right now.
Yeah, and then I saw that there's a secondary
There
side
is.
here.
Each warband is a little bit different in how they inspire. Zach can actually put tokens on his guys to inspire him. He can turn his guys into beasts. There's different things for different warbands. In this case here, if an attack action results in a critical hit, this fighter was the attacker or supported the attacker, they become inspired.
Ooh.
So then they get to flip the card over, and then they usually gain stats. Like in this case here, he's going to gain a secondary weapon, which gives him a different attack option.
Nice. One thing that is never without, or things that I love, is the artwork that comes on a lot of this stuff. Artwork is just fantastic.
And if you come to one of our tournaments, we usually have prize support from Games Workshop, and a lot of the things that they offer us for prize support is alternate art cards that we get to give away. So.
And a lot of the dice are unique dice, so you can't just use a D6.
Nope,
And a D20 would look very normal amongst these. So.
And each new season comes out with a new set of dice as well.
Oh, that's nice. So the two starter set, that's a generic 2 starter set.
Yep.
That's still out.
Yep, this one's out all the time.
And then you come out with a season every once in a while.
About every 6 months they drop a new season.
So how much is a starter?
The generic starter's right around $60.
Okay.
The new season boxes are running right around $95, but on release weekends we offer a 15% discount. And that's both online and in store.
All right. Awesome. All right. Okay. Got some details out of the way. Let's carry on.
All right. So Zach and I each have chosen our boards. The next step is going to be to reveal our war bands. So I have the Sons of Valmorn. Zach, who are you bringing?
I'm bringing Gnarl Spirit Pack Ravels deck.
All right. So they are some magic users, and my guys are some undead kings and knights. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll off. We're each going to grab 4 of the dice, and we're going to roll off to see who can get the most crits, followed by half moons or full moons, and they'll get to decide who's going to place the board. Zach, go ahead and roll the dice. All right, so Zach has 1 crit. He has a full moon and a half moon. The hammer's nothing. So to set those on the side. And I have a whole lot of nothing. So Zach, you want to place your board, or would you like me to?
I will place my board first.
Okay.
Perfect. Placing of the boards. Now, this could be pretty strategic, right?
This is kind of where you set your army up for success or failure. Each one of the boards has 2 sides.
I should make this a little smaller.
And you get to choose which side you play in. So this will be his terrain or his side of the board, that's where he's going to start.
Okay.
And where I place my board is going to be my place to start. Now, I, as a second player, I get to choose how we're going to set this up.
All right.
If I put them up long edge to long edge, I have to have at least 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4 complete. But I can also set them end to end where I have to have at least 3 hexes complete.
Do a lot of people have a preference? Or do you notice a lot of people having a preference?
Most of the games that I've seen, they pretty much go end to end on an even like that. It makes for a nice square board.
Yep.
Depending on your warband, if you have one that can move really fast, you might prefer to have an end to end, especially if you're playing against somebody that moves a little slower, maybe.
Probably a little slower, more of a tank usually.
Yep.
And you don't want them to get moving.
Right. Or you want to keep them farther away from the objectives as well. So that could be an opportunity to do that as well. You'll see on the boards here we got a couple of features going on here. The ones with the dotted lines around them are the cover hexes. If you're in them, you get a bonus to save. The solid line ones are impassable. They also block line of sight. And the red ones on Zach's other side of the board are hazard hexes. If you get pushed into those, your guy will take a point of damage.
Yikes.
Yeah, they can be pretty deadly. You'll see that you got these little flame icons on it, these little underworld icons. Those are what they call starting hexes. When we go to place our warband, our characters can only be placed on those hexes.
Okay.
All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to place some feature tokens. These are like objectives. You got a blind side, which works like cover. On the other side, they are numbered objectives, and we'll have 5 objectives. Zach picked the first board and placed the first board, so he's going to get dealt first. So he's going to end up with 3. Oop, let's mix that one back up.
So this isn't, I mean, obviously you can kill each other to win the game, but this is more about objectives?
It's more about glory. You're trying to gain glory points. You get glory by... There's going to be different objectives on. You got an objective deck of cards, which gives you objectives that you're trying to complete during the battle.
Yep.
You also get glory points for killing opponents, so it's kind of a double whammy. You can kind of go both ways. Killing guys obviously is a good thing because the fewer guys he has on there, the less he can hurt you.
Absolutely.
So Zach, since you have 3, go ahead and place. Remember, you cannot be in an edge hex, and you cannot be within 2. You cannot be within 2 of another objective. Or on top of a starting hex. And 2. All right, so now that all the objectives are placed, now we're going to flip them over. All right, and the next thing is going to be we're going to draw our cards. So we're going to draw 3 of the objective cards, and we're going to draw 5 of the power cards. Objective cards are the gold decks. There's fewer of them. And the power cards are the blue decks, and there's about 20 of them in every rival's deck.
Feel like I should have some ambient like music in the background, like bum ba dum bum, some kind of war music going on.
It might help. It might help.
Maybe when I put it on YouTube, I'll put something down.
Maybe get some drums going on there. Get my guys marching forward a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Twitch is a really particular. They actually have some. They have a new Streamlabs has a new music thing that's non-royalty that I'll have to look into and see if we can do something like that. But otherwise, I'll just throw something in the bottom. So.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'll see how the volume is, though.
All right. So now, after we drew our cards, what we get to do is we can take a mulligan now. If we want, we can discard all of our objective cards, or all of our power cards, or all of our cards and draw all new hands.
Oh.
I'm pretty happy with what I have right now, so I think I'm going to keep mine.
I'm also happy with what I have.
Oh, that's gotta... How often does that happen where everyone's happy?
Usually don't see a whole lot of people throwing their cards away. They're usually pretty happy with it.
Usually pretty good? Okay.
Rivals format, your cards are your cards. There's a couple other ways to play. You can play what they call Nemesis, which is really popular, where you take your own warband's Rivals deck.
Okay.
And you get a secondary Rivals deck, which most of the new starters boxes or core boxes come with your Warband rival decks plus 2 more decks. So you can use some of the older Warbands with them, or you can mix and match the cards. So in Nemesis, you can mix and match. If you guys play like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, where you're used to deck building, you can do a little bit of that in this game as well.
All right. Every time you say Nemesis, I think of G.I. Joe, the animated movie. Nemesis Enforcer. That's just... Okay.
It's all good. All right, so if you're happy and I'm happy, let's roll off the Place to Warband. So it's the same roll-off as before. We're looking for crits, followed by the most half moons, followed by the most full moons.
I almost need another camera just for dice.
It would be
the thing is that, and this is really talking the back end of things that I don't normally always talk about. For some reason, when I hook up a 4th camera, because I do have one, it doesn't want to connect. So it's like I'm at a max of 3. I don't know what it is.
And I'm rolling just as poorly as I usually do, Zach. All right, so now he gets to choose whether I place first or if he places first. There is an advantage to being the first person to finish.
Okay. Can you explain the dice a little bit on there?
Sure. So we have a set of attack dice, which are the gold ones. What we're looking for...
just even what you rolled a little bit there.
The main thing that we're looking for is what they call the critical hits. That's these guys right here.
Yep.
They're like your trump card in this game. Other things, you have half moons, which are supports. If your characters are supported in battle, they can sometimes succeed on a support. And if they got a lot of help and they got 2 friends by them, they use what we call the full moons, which is a double support.
All right. Okay.
So the more support your warband has, the better your chances of succeeding both on the attack and on the defense.
All right.
There are also magic dice, which came out with the Norwood set. And again, is going to be a huge part of the new season coming out with the Weird Hollow, because both warbands and the new core set are going to be magic users. So it's going to be some fun stuff going on there. But they just got some different symbols on them. And again, the cards are going to... Zach, can you bring your card out here? Down on the bottom, it's going to show you what symbols you're looking for on the dice. In this case, it's a swirly, so just like that. So when he's rolling his magic dice, he's looking for those for successes.
Perfect.
And then the attack dice, there's going to be things like hammers on there. Some of the characters are going to use hammers for their successes. Some are going to use the double swords, which are going to be successes. Double swords are a little harder to hit with because there's only one face of the dice that has it. The hammers have 2 faces that have it. So if you have hammers on the attack, you've got a little better chance of success. But usually the guys that are rolling the double swords get to throw more dice usually, so it kind of washes out. The game is played over 3 turns, or 3 rounds rather. We each get 4 activations per turn. So once that's done, then we go into what we call an end phase, and we try to score objectives. We can also play power cards at the end of each activation, which we'll get into a little bit when we get there. All right, Zach, who do you want to place the warband first?
I will place my warband first. I'm going to place Gorl Spawnhammer right here.
Okay. I think I am going to play Thane 4th and last first, because, he doesn't always have to be last. You can go right there. And we just take turns, placing 1 character at a time until we run out. He only has 4 characters in his warband, so he'll be finished before I will, because I have 5 in mine.
I'm going to play my leader, Sakir Blackwing, right here.
And he can fly, right?
Yes, once he becomes a beast, he can fly.
Awesome. All right, next we're going to play Helmer the Hewer. He can go right back here.
I'm going to play Lupin Longcut right here.
And next we're going to place Marshal Falk Velmorn. He's going to go right here.
I'm going to play Crimson Chihera right here.
And that's your last character?
That's my last character.
All right, I'm going to play Sir Jordan Felsborn.
I love the name.
He is the king's bodyguard. He's actually an illegitimate son. He's not even an actual son, I guess. So, but anyways, the king don't care because he's his bodyguard. And that leaves me with King Velmorn himself. I'm going to put him right back in the corner here. All right, so now we're going to roll off one last time to see who goes first. Now, since Zach got done placing his warband first, he goes into this roll-off plus 1 crit.
Nice.
So he only has that 1 crit. I have a crit, a full moon, and a half moon, so I actually won this roll-off. And I am going to go first.
You talk like you never win at all.
I don't. He usually kicks my butt. I'm not lying.
Is it just because you're getting old and feeble and your mind doesn't work as well, or you just got so much knowledge from so many other games that you've played and his mind is young and fresh and doesn't understand tactics compared to other stuff, so he's able to absorb only what he needs to know.
He plays a lot of sports.
Yeah.
He completely understands every sport that he plays. Someday I think he's going to be a great coach.
Yeah, awesome.
And so he just carries that over to gaming. He just picks up a warband or any game that we play, and he figures out how to make it work into his favor.
He just has to get a coach voice now.
He can holler pretty loud when he wants to.
You gotta project yourself out there a little bit more. But all right, okay. I do like how you guys painted your stuff, though. I do like how it looks. It looks really nice.
Yeah, these guys here are pretty much complete now, and these guys are probably about 3/4 of the way done.
And this is completely off topic. What kind of paint are you using?
I'm using a combination of Citadel paints and washes and Army Painter paints.
Okay. Anything speed painted?
Yes, actually, a lot of the hair and stuff on the back of these guys. Actually, on this warband here, we used quite a bit of contrast paint from Citadel, including Crimson Cryera's hair. We used a red.
Because hair is my downfall in a lot of things. I think that speed paint's or contrast paints, depending on which brand you're using, is going to make that a lot of difference. So, all right, I just wanted to ask. And you sell that too.
We do, yep.
See, always pushing, guys. I'm always
Army
pushing.
Painter is coming out with Speed Paint 2.0, I believe, in the next month or so, a couple of weeks.
I've painted on commission a couple of miniatures using the Army Painter Speed Paint, and I don't need to charge as much as I used to because it makes it look really good with just a few little brushes.
It does speed things up, and the Citadel washes. If you like the speed paints, the Citadel washes are great, especially if you want to do like some red hair or something like that.
Yep.
It just gets in there and just adds that extra little bit of detail to it.
I always was a fan of Citadel paint.
Yep. It's a premium. I'm not going to call it a premium paint, but it's right up there with it.
It always seemed to flow really nice. So.
All right, so moving back into the game here now. The couple of actions that I can do with each one of my actions, most of the time, is going to revolve around moving the characters around the board and interacting with the objectives, interacting with my own warband, and hopefully attacking Zach. Other things I can do are I can move up to my movement rate on the cards. I can do an attack action. I can put my guys on guard. I can do a charge, which is a super action, which allows us to move and then do an attack after that. And other things I can do that don't revolve around the characters on the board are I can choose to draw a power card. I can discard an objective card, and I can draw another one. Or I can simply just pass if I start running out of warriors. But right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put... I think we're going to move Sir Jordan Falseborn, and he can move up to 3. And I'm just going to move him 1 space to start with. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a move token on him. Charges, there's my move token. Now we have different tokens that we put into play just to kind of keep track of who's been activated and who hasn't. And that's all I can do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over my activation token because we get 4 per turn, and I'm going to go into my power phase. Now, power phase, we get to play power cards. We can do things like upgrades. If we have glory points to spend, we can spend glory points and put upgrades on our characters. We can also do gambit cards, which kind of help us play along in the battle. There's some sneaky stab a guy in the back tricks that we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where the deck building comes into play.
Yep. And if anyone's watching that has a question, please feel free to chime in, or if you need us to speak up, or you want us to go back and explain something. There is a little bit of a lag compared to live to what it is. It's up to 20 seconds sometimes, and there's nothing I can do about that. But we would be happy to go back and explain something over again if you have anything.
Okay, I'm going to play this here. In previous will, give your leader 1 command counter and 1 guard token. Now, when he has a command counter, he has an ability that is called Deadly Command. After this fighter's activation, give this fighter 1 command counter. While this fighter has 1 or more command counters, it is supporting each friendly grave guard. Clear these counters at the end of the action phase. So since he hasn't actually activated yet, but this is one of those little cheats kind of things that you can do, this little play card. So that's going to let me put that token on him, and now he's going to count as supporting each one of these other members of my warband.
Yep.
Okay, now Zach, he gets to play in my power phase as well. And we keep going back and forth playing power cards until we both decide to pass.
Okay.
This gambit blue card, the first range 1 attack action made by a friendly fighter, and the next activation has previous 1 or +1 damage instead if that fighter is a beast, and 1 or more other surviving friendly fighters are not beasts.
Okay, Zach, and how do you turn your guys into beasts?
I turn them into beasts when it's a start of their activation, and I put on these purple-looking tokens things on them, and then they're a beast, and they have special abilities when they are beasts.
Oh, they're Transformers.
They are. It's kind of the story behind that warband is that they've been in the Gnarlwood too long and they're possessed by chaos. So they have this beast inside that's always trying to take over, like a demon kind of thing, trying to take over. So it's always a fight between the human and the beast within. So it's kind of a neat story with those guys. I think that's all I have for right now, Zach.
That's all I have as well.
Okay, so start your first activation.
I'm going to activate Goral's Spinehammer. I'm going to make him a beast. So he has overcome. Well, a spider has 1 or more spirit counters, which a spirit counter is what that turns him into a beast. They get +1 defense, so I get +1 dice if he attacks me on the defensive roll. And he is a beast and cannot be inspired until I take off the spirit counter. So I'm going to charge at his big guy.
So Jedran Felsborn.
Charge with 2 movement. He has a movement of 3. So I'm gonna do Spinehammer. So I get range 1 attack. It is a range 1 attack, and then I get +1 damage if he's a beast, and all my other guys are not beasts, which I have activated them, so they cannot be beasts yet.
Okay.
So I get +1 damage to it, and then I'm gonna roll and attack him.
Okay, how many dice does he get?
He hits 2 dice, doing 3 damage, but plus this, he's gonna do 4 damage.
Okay.
So I need 2 dice. And he's hitting on hammers.
All right, so you
I
have
got
1 success.
1 hammer.
All right. And Falseborn gets 1 defense dice. And he is looking for a shield. And a crit is always good. Criticals are like the trump cards.
And a half moon because he is...
And a half moon because the king is supporting him. So I have a pretty good chance of success. And a half moon is a success. Your power step.
I have nothing.
All right. have anything either at this time. So I will start my second activation. And we are going to charge with... Marshall Falk Velmorn.
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk Velmorn.
Someone was a football fan.
That's what I was thinking too. And we're going to charge this big guy right here.
If you can throw it in somewhere. Some guy was like, and I want to name him this. And everyone's like, oh, okay. And he's like, yes! Yes, right. I was a huge Marshall Falk fan.
So
there's probably something back in the day for that, in some lore or something in a book we haven't read. So.
Probably. Some old English book. The game is made over in Britain. So.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, so he is going to get a Great Weight Blade. It has got 2 attack dice, looking for double swords. And he is supported by the king because he's got a marker on him. And he's also supported by Fallspawn because he's in base contact with the target. So I'll be hitting on double swords, half moons, and full moons. And crits are always good.
Excellent. We love a good critical. Kaboom!
I got 2 half moons, which is 2 successes.
Put those there.
Thanks to the support.
So he is attacking Goyle Spinehammer. He usually has 1 defense dice, so since he's a beast, I get 2 defense dice to save it, and he's saving on shields.
Alright, he is going to take 1 damage. Now that attack did have Grievous, so if I would have got a critical hit, it would have caused 1 extra wound. So Zach will put a wound counter on his card, letting us know how many wounds he has. How many wounds does he have total, Zach?
4 wounds total.
4 wounds total. Alright, so now it's my power step. I don't have that one. Don't have that one. I have nothing.
I have this Gambit Ploy card. I can either do +1 dice to the first attack action made by a friendly fighter in the next activation, or +2 dice instead if the fighter is supported by 1 or more friendly beasts and/1 inspired fighter. And that's all I have.
Okay. So then we're both going to pass, so it's your second activation.
So I'm going to activate Crimson Chihera. I'm going to put the Spirit Counter on her. And then she has +1 move, because she's a beast. Then I'm going to charge up 1 to attack Marshall Falk. And then I'm going to do Clawed Axes. Range 1, having 3 dice. And doing 2 damage, but +2 dice instead of this fighter supported by 1 or more friendly beasts, and he is supported because he is behind the fighter.
He's in
so I get 2 more dice for that.
She's a beast.
She's a beast. And I'm going to be rolling 5 dice, hitting on dual swords, doing 2 damage.
Ouch.
That's kind of nasty.
Ouch.
I hit 1.
All right.
So can you explain how your hits work there?
So a hammer doesn't count because I need a dual sword.
Okay.
Like that. And this half moon hits because he is...
Because she has support from the big guy here. Because they're both in base contact with the target.
Now, if I would have 1 more supported, I would have hit on the full moon as well.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, so I have 1 hit.
It's one thing, particularly when you're explaining games, you know, you've played for a little while, and it's like, okay, you just got to slow down a second and go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and we do have a demo set. We have this set right here at the store. So if anybody ever wants to stop in and just play a demo game,
the 2-player set. Is that the one I played with you, or did I actually? Okay.
I'm actually in the process of painting this set, and we'll have it at the store too.
Painting?
Yes. Oh. I'm trying to get all the demo sets painted, but
I've created a new goal, which should have been more over the winter, but I was kind of busy. It's funny how I was actually more busy over the winter than I am going to be over the summer. A lot of it's EverCon.
Right.
I'm going to paint for a minimum of 2 hours a week. That's a goal.
That's a good goal to have.
That's a good goal. And I'm going to do it probably Thursday nights. because I don't have any kids. I don't have anywhere to go after work, and
Yeah,
I can watch Jaeger on a Joshua Turbo stream. So
We could live stream a paint session.
we're more yes, please.
That would be cool.
Well, and explain why we do what we do.
Yeah,
Because sometimes I can't teach people how I paint. Oh, go ahead, you do that.
it's easier to show people
It's
than it is
easier to
explain.
show them than explain it. And sometimes the way I paint is not the way that you're gonna paint, because like I've done a couple like I'll call it back brushing,
I needed a shield, and that's what I rolled. I have a success, so I take no damage.
where I actually put on paint pretty thick, and then I go back and I actually take off the extra, and it's just something I get in with crevices and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I could actually explain how I do that, or I don't know if anyone else would even want to do that. But
So now it's my power step. I'm going to do this gameplay card, Poison. Choose one enemy fighter adjacent to one or more friendly beasts that the chosen fighter is staggered. This effect persets until the chosen fighter is taken out of action. So she's a beast, and I'm going to put a staggered token on Marshall Falk.
Alright, so I'm staggered.
Yep.
So I'm staggered until what?
Until he's taken out of action.
Okay. So I cannot heal that off, though.
Yes, you
So
cannot take that off.
Okay. Alright, so my power phase here. Let me see here. After this fighter's activation.
and I'd like to do so my Wednesday night streams are more talk show-ish,
I have nothing.
and that's the way I like the format with a game at the end. I want to do more streams like this where we do a short intro,
Okay.
show a game, or learn how to play a game. So
We have lots of games to learn.
we do.
We have lots.
Lots.
All right. So now I'm going to activate Thane fourth and last, I think.
Mm.
And he is going to do a charge.
Gosh. I just love the names.
He's the last son that King Velmorn had.
So what is?
And he's
what
like
is your?
he's like hated by the
What
whole
are you?
family.
I am Thane, fourth and last.
So we're going
Why-
to charge the big guy.
I'm
here.
the fourth son, and I was the last son.
All right, so here we got an interesting situation going on now. Is that Zach is got this guy's getting surrounded. He's got double support. He's actually got triple support from the King Velmorn himself. So the most support you can get is actually 2, and with this case, we're supported as well as we're ever going to be.
All right.
I get two dice looking for swords and half moons and full moons and crits. So basically the only thing I'm going to fail on is hammers.
No hammers.
No hammers.
Usually sledgehammers would be a good way to go.
We have 2 successes.
So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and I need shields for him.
Or 1 crit.
I got 1 crit.
1 crit, and that negates both of my hits. So the crits are the trump. All right.
I have nothing from my power step.
Don't have any damage. Can't take anybody out of action yet. Alright. That's all I got. So go ahead and start your third activation, Zach.
Alright. I'm going to activate Lupin Long Cut. And I'm going to make her a beast. So now with the beast, she hits on full moons and she also has +1 move. Her normal move is 4. Now with that, she can move up to 5. And then I'm going to charge Muscle Folk. 1, 2. And then I'm going, since that was a charge,
And he has a range 2 weapon.
She has this long cut attack, which I'm going to do as a range 3 attack getting 2 dice, doing 1 damage. What she has is impact. Impact. Plus 1 damage on main during a charge action, which I made a charge action, so she's going to do plus 1 damage if I hit him.
Okay.
So I get 2 dice, looking for hammers. And a half moon
And you got double support, so half moon and full moon. And of course, if you can't hit the dice box, they don't count.
What?
All right, so you got support and a double support. So you got 2 successes.
Yep.
Against Marshall Falk.
Was he at St. Louis Rams?
Could be. Was he for the Rams? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get
so
1 dice looking for
I've forgotten more
shields.
stuff than I know.
So you're looking for a
Looking
crit.
for a shield or a crit.
So since I hit you twice, you can't.
Oh yes, I need to get a crit. We did not.
So that's gonna do 2 damage.
Yes, I would have needed a crit. So 2 damage on Marshall Falk Velmorn. And to Zach's point, on the back of the core rule books, they have to hit, so you can kind of follow along with what the attacker got versus what the defender rolls, so you can see what succeeds and what fails.
And that is super nice because I can't tell you, why don't all game companies just do that? Just a quick little combat sequence thing on the back or some kind of quick reference. It just makes life a lot easier.
It does. It really does. Some games just like to be complicated, though, I guess.
Just make something that's like PDF style.
One thing I found getting to a lot of the core boxes, like even in Warlord games, you get like the Band of Brothers box. It comes with the full cheat sheet right in there. Makes the game so simple. Not that the game is hard to play to begin with. You know?
But still.
All right, Zach, your power phase?
I have nothing for my power phase.
All right. All right. What do I want to do here? I think we're going to activate King Velmorn himself here. He can move up to 3, so he's going to charge the big man there, I think. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to take a charge token. Oops, that's not the one I needed. And he is going to get to attack with 2 hammers. And crits are always good. And he does 2 damage for each one. And we are triple supported. So hammers, crits, anything but swords, really.
Anything but swords. And you think in a war game you'd like swords.
I don't know. Warhammer's pretty. It's a pretty bad weapon too, you know. All right, so we got a hammer and a double support. So we have 2 successes.
So I get 2 dice.
And you need a crit.
All right.
Well, I have 2 dice, so I can save both.
You can save both, yeah.
Yeah, crit.
And there, folks, that's why I cannot beat him. But in this case, we haven't dealt a whole lot of damage back and forth, really. So it's been pretty close.
Well, and really, when you think about combat, one real combat can be really fast, but usually the first initial strikes are usually some kind of defense type thing, and then it's usually ching ching done.
Positioning, yep. This here is actually a reaction. Play this during the friendly fighter's attack action, which I just did, so I'm a little bit behind on this one. After the declare the attack action step, when you do, you can remove 1 command counter from this leader. Choose a friendly fighter other than the attacker and push the chosen fighter 1 hex up or 3 hexes if you remove the command counter. Choose a friendly fighter. So I'm going to remove the command counter. He's going to get it back because at the end of his activation he gets another one. And I'm going to push, who is that down there? That is Helmer the Hewer. He's going to get pushed 3 if I can. He's going to go 1, 2. I cannot go there. That one's blocked, but I can go 1, 2 on there. So we don't have to go the full 3. Up to 3 hexes if you remove the command counter. But at the end of his activation, the king gets a command counter back again anyway. So I'm just gonna put that right back on him. And power phase, Zach.
I don't have anything, so skip.
Okay, I'm going to heal 2. I'm going to use this here, heal 2 on one friendly grave guard. A burst of vivid energy that mends shattered bones.
Nice.
So we're going to take them wounds off.
And it's just something that happens automatically because it's on a card.
It's on a card. It's what they call a gambit ploy card.
Okay.
Again, these are just little things that kind of help you through the battle. Different little attacks, different things you can do, kind of out of the ordinary sequence of play.
Yep. All right.
All right, Zach, have you scored any objectives yet?
No, not yet.
I can't take any of you guys out of action, so mine are pretty hard to do at the moment. All right. I don't have anything. That was my last activation.
I have one last activation for Sarkira Blackwing as my leader. I'm going to put a spirit token on him, so now he's a beast. He has +2 to his move. His move was 4, so now we move up to 6, and now it's flying. And I'm going to charge Martial Folk.
You just have it out for him, don't you?
2. And now I'm going to do Wild Staff, range 2.
Is that a magic attack or is that a melee attack?
It's a melee attack. It's range 2, 2 dice, hitting on hammers, and since it's both,
the target is surrounded.
And hammers, full moons, and half moons, everything but swords, and it's gonna do 2 damage.
Nice.
2 dice.
I just healed 2 damage off him. Now he's gonna try putting 2 more on him. Double crits. Ouch. So yeah, I gotta get. If I get a crit, I'll block that. Yeah. On Martial Folk, 1 dice. Gotta get a crit. Did not. So he's going to take 2 damage, you said?
2 damage. And then I have this objective card. Surge. Go as meal after you will run second or subsequent successful attack action in the same round. So that was my second one. I hit on you, so I get 1 glory point for that.
Nice. Now with his glory points, he can spend those to put upgrades onto his characters.
Oh, wonderful.
One thing with his warband, though, a lot of his guys turn into beasts, and a lot of the beasts cannot have certain upgrades. So he has to be cautious as to what he gives them. If it's just like an ability that's going to give him an extra attack, he can do stuff like that.
Can he go backwards from being a beast?
He can, but then he'll lose when he flips
whatever
away.
the beast is.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I understand. Yep.
So it's he kind of learned with that warband that 2 of his characters he wants to make a beast.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are more of a supporting role for the other 2. So
does one of them turn into a bucket of water?
I wish the redhead would.
Oh, okay. that's a cartoon reference from back in the day. Wonder Twins. Powers activate. One would turn into like an eagle or something like that. The other one turn into a bucket of water.
I think that's it for this round then.
I think that's it.
Now we go into
the end phase.
Some secondary talk here. There was actually talks of doing a Wonder Twins movie.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there was serious talks for a while that they were going to do a Wonder Twins movie. I think it would have been pretty good if they would have done the humor, the like secondary, more of a humorous type thing. So, anyways, go ahead. That was just one of those things.
So now in the end phase, what we do now is we're going to see if we can score any kind of objectives that we might have in our objective hands. We're going to clean up the board with the exception of the stagger token out here because I got to carry that through until he dies.
I have this one objective, scores an end phase. If each surviving friendly fighter is either inspired or a beast, which they are all beasts because I started them at the beginning of my turn, so I get 1 glory point for that as well.
Nice. Alright, so now the other things we can do now is we can discard objective cards, we can discard power cards.
I'm going to discard my 2 blue cards I didn't use.
Alright, I'm going to discard all of my objective cards. keep that one.
Again, for viewers out there, you're watching the Dork Father stream, part of the NerdCast. And tonight we have Comm Armory, and we're just learning how to play Warhammer Underworlds, going through a little bit of a demo game here. And if you have questions, please just pop in and ask away.
We'll be glad to answer them.
If you're just popping in and you're going, what in the world is this, and where's this taking place? Well, we're just having a good time. So we're in central Wisconsin. Comm Armory is located in central Wisconsin.
Right here in Merrill, Wisconsin.
Yep, and I normally do my streams on Wednesdays, but I think some of these type of streams on different nights will be really nice.
Would be good.
Yeah.
We'll try to do some more of these.
Absolutely. Different games. And I think what's nice about Warhammer Underworlds is, say you really, 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 really find a warband that you like. You don't have to purchase anything else.
You are correct.
That's it. You're done. Unlike
the warbands, even from the original season when the game first released,
yeah,
they didn't have the rival decks, and they used a different format. So some of the old decks don't work so much with the newer system because there just wasn't enough cards in them.
Yep.
But we have separate rivals decks. You can either purchase them or extra ones come with the core sets now, where you can play those old warbands. Yeah. Actually, I have one of them with me. It's orcs, believe it or not.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If I can get the box open here. Oh, maybe I didn't bring it.
Oh, that's all right.
I think I might have lied to you all.
Oh, that's all right. But anyways, at least stuff is playable. I mean, it's nice that the miniatures are all playable and everything throughout. But it's nice that you can get a game and it's not outrageously expensive.
Ah, there it is.
There we go.
This is the old Dire Chasm set. Some orcs on there, so
nice.
Head Kraka's Mad Mob.
But
it's like a crazy shaman there in the back. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this is this comes with minis too?
Yep, it's going to come with the full warband. We have the majority of the current warbands at the store and online. So you can pick them up and basically open the box up. Like I said before, they're push-fit models. So you just clip them off the sprue, push them together, and you're ready to play.
That's crazy.
Games Workshop kind of has like their 40K tournaments. They got like painting standards and stuff like that. Not the case with this game. So even if you're not a great painter, but you just want to play the game because it looks fun, it is fun, you can just grab a box and push them together and start to play. You don't have to spend hours painting them. I mean, it's great if you do paint them, but
I think everything looks better painted. But I have a lot of grays and I have a lot of metal.
I have quite a wall of shame, I guess. A pile of shame, we call it.
My wall of shame. At least I have a wall of paint. So.
It's getting to the point now where I don't know if I'm a model collector anymore or if I'm a paint collector.
You can see all my paint on the wall there. Exactly. That's not even all of it.
All right, so the thing about this game is just because I went first in the first turn doesn't mean I get to go first in this turn. You roll off every time.
Okay.
But this time there's no bonus because we didn't do any setup or anything, so our rolls are what our rolls are.
All right.
I got one crit.
One crit and one full move. I have 3 hammers and a shield. Zach, do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to go first.
I figured you would.
And I'm going to activate Lupin Long Cut. And I'm going to take off the spirit token. So now she's not a beast, so now she's inspired. And she just gets one more dice, so long cut, and silent knife just stays the same. But now she has this one special thing that she has, Beast Guide. This fighter supports each friendly beast from anywhere on the board. And she gets one more defensive dice.
Nice.
So I'm going to just shoot at Marshall Falk.
Oh, you have it out for Marshall, don't you?
I'm going to do
Poor
long
guy.
cut, range 3 with 3 dice.
Retire from football, go fight in the underworld, and gets picked on by a bunch of beast-changing backwoods guys.
And
think I forgot something. After the final power step of a round, inspire one friendly fighter that has this ability. It's called Sibling Rivalry. It's a reaction after the final power step, which we did before. After the final power step of the round, inspire one friendly fighter that has this ability. You mind if I do that, Zach, since I forgot it?
Yes. No.
You mind, or it's okay?
No, it's okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to do that on Helmer the Hewer, since Marshall Falk is almost dead.
And Helmer the Hewer is which one?
Helmer the Hewer is the guy with the axe standing on objective number 2 at the moment.
Alright, so now I'm going to do my attack. It's long cut, range 3 with 3 dice, hitting on hammers, doing 1 damage. And she is supported by 2 of them, so I'm hitting on half moons and full moons. I got 1 crit and a half moon.
Okay. And that is against Marshall Falk.
Poor Marshall.
Got a crit, we blocked it.
Nice.
Nice. Sorry, Zach. It had to happen eventually.
Kind of like.
Okay, I think I might have something to do here now. Reaction: an enemy fighter's failed attack action that targeted this fighter. Give that attacker 1 curse counter.
Oh.
Yes, a curse counter. It was long cut that did it.
I don't care what game that you're in. A curse counter is not good.
Curses are bad. While the fighter has 1 or more curse counters, that fighter has -1 defense to a minimum of 1, and -1 dice from that fighter's attack action to a minimum of 1. Clear all curse counters at the end of the phase.
Okay.
Since I already activated her, it really don't mean anything.
Well, it was a failed attack action, so I had to do it on someone, so. Yeah, it's got to go on that attacker, so. Alright, your turn.
I have this upgrade card that says attack action. You can give this to a beast. And reaction: after this fighter's spell attack action, make this attack action. So I need to use one of my glory points. It's 1 glory point for an upgrade to be added onto a card.
Bum, bum, bum.
Alright, I don't have anything else. If you have anything?
I have nothing.
Alright, so then my first activation. We are going to activate the king, I think.
The king is dead. Long live the king. Oh, we're not that far yet.
And he is going to charge long cut because he's going to be -1 defense, right?
It's Lupin inspired.
Oh, yes, Lupin, my bad. Yes, because you'll be -1 defense dice. So
Now I gotta listen to some Megadeth. God save the king.
We're going to charge 1, 2, 3.
If it wasn't, that would be good to listen to some Megadeth while playing this game. Would be pretty good, but can't do that on the live stream.
No?
No.
Get a little backfeed there, does it?
Well, they end up actually. It doesn't hurt the initial.
I got 1 crit, so I have
1 dice.
1 dice.
It doesn't hurt the initial one,
All
but
right,
if
he's
you
going
get
to take 2 damage.
if you get multiple hits against you, then they can just take away your stream. There's people who do all kinds of stuff. The problem is that if I load this up to YouTube would mute all of that. So.
That is also going to inspire the king because an attack action results in a critical hit if this fighter was the attacker or supported the attacker. So he is now inspired. So now his weapon will do a 3 damage, hitting on 2 hammers, and it's got Grievous 1, so if I roll any crits, Grievous 1 adds 1 additional wound.
Nice.
And then, let's see here, that's an end phase. End phase. Score this immediately after an attack action that targeted a supportly friendly fighter and failed, or that was made by a supported friendly fighter and succeeded. Do not have that one yet. Don't have anybody that's dead yet. Alright, that's an upgrade. I don't have any. Alright, I have nothing, Zach.
also have nothing.
All right. It's a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing going on that I can see.
Oh, is it my turn then?
It is your turn, sir.
Alright.
Start your second activation.
I'm going to activate Crimson Kahira, and I'm going to charge her to.
Oh, that is Thane, fourth and last.
So 1, 2. On the charge.
Why you gotta be so mean?
So mean. Here we are on the Dark Father NerdCast tonight, playing Warhammer Underworlds with Frank and Zach Bacon from Comm Armory. There's just a new viewer, so hello, new viewer.
Hello, new viewer. Yeah, viewer. Sorry.
And then I'm going to do clawed axes, range 1, getting 3 dice.
Okay.
Doing 2 damage, and he is helped out by.
He is supported.
Hammer.
He is supported by the big man.
So I also hit on half moons. I got 2 half moons.
All right. So I'm going to need
A crit.
Wish me luck.
I am wishing you all the luck.
That's a crit. See, there it is. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. But you didn't have me blow on the dice.
No.
Oh, I'm not a good-looking chick, because that's only good-looking chicks. Remember that.
Only good-looking chicks get to do that.
Yep.
All right. Put your power step there, Zach.
Nothing.
I have nothing as well, so my second activation of turn 2. Here we go. The king is supporting everybody. I think what we're going to do is we're going to charge with Marshal Falk Velmorn. He is going to charge Longcut. I think our best bet's going to be to go 1, 2 like this. Alright, Marshal Falk gets 2 dice looking for swords. He is supported by the king. So we will hit down for half moons and swords and crits.
Nice.
And you are still -1 dice on your defense for being cursed. We got a crit. All right, that is going to do 1 damage.
Ooh.
Ooh, it killed him. All right, I get a glory point for that. And I get to place one of these hexes over here.
Can you show which model came off the board? Because the camera wasn't up. So, took that one off. Look at that paint job. That's a beautiful model.
It's one of my favorites in that warband.
Yeah. Well, that whole warband is gorgeous.
His belt was a pain in the butt to paint.
I believe it. All right. Thank you.
So what we have are these hexes here. These are snare hexes.
Okay.
And there's 2 extra ones in the Gnarlwood set here. So what happens when we kill a player, a member of the warband, the person that killed him can, if we choose to, place one of these.
Oh.
It's a snare, so what happens is if they go into it, they take 1 wound.
Oh.
So it's kind of like it becomes a hazard.
I guess. And it can go anywhere?
It has to go on the spot where the person died.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, it's like the gnarlwood is coming up to feed on the corpse.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. And I think I might have finally got an objective here now, too. Let me check my objectives here. Score immediately after an attack action that targeted a supported friendly fighter and failed, or that was made by a supported friendly fighter and succeeded. It was made by a supported friendly fighter and succeeded. So I get 1 objective for that. Or 1 glory.
You also get, yeah, I got 1 for the...
And I took the 1 for the kill. Okay, power step.
don't have anything.
Well, I go first, Zach. Play this after. Oh, and he also has shields up, which is he's not inspired, so he doesn't have shields up yet.
Yeah,
But he is inspired because his attack action resulted in a critical hit if that fighter was the attacker or supported the attacker. So he is inspired, but he still doesn't get shields up because he just inspired.
Alright.
After his first fighter, one hex towards the closest friendly fighter. It's an upgrade. I don't want to play that one. Velmorn's Curse. Nope, I have nothing.
I also have nothing.
Alright. So now the game is tied. We both have 2 glory points. Even though I killed one of his guys already, the game is still tied because it goes by glory points.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Goro's Spinehammer. And I'm just going to attack the guard. I'm going to say where I am at. So it's range 1 with 2 dice, hitting on hammers, and doing 3 damage.
Sir Jedran Felsborn.
I miss all of them.
That's what I like to see.
You know, there's something great about saving against something. There's something even better when it's a complete miss.
It is.
Yeah.
What do we want to do now? So what do we got here? We got a charge token here that we should have. We should have another charge token there. And he is staggered. What does staggered do again, Zach?
I don't know.
Stagger token. If a fighter is given a stagger token, remove that fighter's guard token. A fighter that has 1 or more stagger tokens is staggered. You can re-roll 1 attack dice and an attack action roll against that target if it is staggered. So anytime you're attacking him, you can re-roll 1 of your dice. That would have been nice to know. You staggered him. You should have known that. Well, now we know. Now we know. Sometimes we forget things. We don't play. We don't play every day. So.
And knowing is half the. See, if you go to GI Joe, and knowing is half the battle. GI Joe, or we go Warhammer.
I like that.
Okay.
All right. So my activation. You have no power cards to play.
I have none.
Okay. Neither do I. I don't think, anyways.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Oh, maybe I do. Velmor's Curse reaction. Play this after an enemy fighter's attack action. It takes a friendly fighter out of action. Nope, you didn't do that, so never mind. I have nothing as well. So my third activation. I'm getting really tired of that guy swinging his hammer at me, but
I would be too. It's quite the hammer.
I think what we need to do here is we need to charge Crimson Kyra with Helmer Inspired. We need to get the axe swinging, so we're going to charge this way. That's going to give him a charge token. He gets 3 dice. Looking for swords. He's got support from the king, so that's going to give him half moons. And we also have support from...
No, he has to be on the back side of her.
He's just got to be in base contact with him.
Oh, I thought it had to be on the
No, just got to be... Can be anywhere around her as long as he... If he was here, he would not. But being he is here, and he's in base contact, 1 hex within 1 hex, it counts as support. Basically, they're coming at you from 2 sides, and she's like, who am I going to block? And the king, since he's got his counter on him, counts as supporting everybody. So we're hitting on everything except for hammers. We have 2 successes.
I'm rolling 2 dice.
It's a crit. You're good. Let's see, what do I got? Policy, play this as a friendly graveyard. Failed attack action. When you do, you can remove one command counter from your leader. That graveyard makes one attack action. If you remove the command token, +1 dice to that attack action until it has been resolved. I'm going to play that one, so we're going to attack again. So we're going to remove that command counter, so he's no longer supporting, but we do have support here. Makes one attack action. If you remove the command counter, +1 dice to that attack action. So he had 3 dice before. 3 dice before. He's going to have 4 dice this time. Hitting on half moons and swords and crits, of course.
On who?
Right back here again. We got 2 successes again.
Alright, need that crit.
Gonna need a crit. And of course you get it. Okay. Your power play.
I'm gonna play this upgrade card.
Oh, I didn't have a successful. Can I still push you?
No, I think it's has the attack is successful.
Go ahead and play your card.
Alright, it's an upgrade card. You can reroll 1 dice in this fighter's defense roll, and this fighter knows the rule for cover hexes while making an attack action.
Okay.
And put it on Goral's Spine Hammer.
Alright. I don't have anything to play, so if you have another card, you can go ahead and
I
play.
have nothing.
Alright. I think it has to be a success. Okay, the score is still 2-2. Alright. That was your third activation?
You just went.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's your last activation of turn 2.
I'm gonna activate Sakara Blackwing, and I'm gonna take off the beast token, and now he is inspired. And now I'm gonna move him forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to use my magic attack.
Ooh, we're gonna see some magic here finally, people.
That has cleave going on to.
What's the range of this magical weapon?
3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
You are good.
And then after this fighter's spell attack action, make this attack action. I have to put this upgrade on it. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to attack him with the other one I added on to
Okay.
it. So I need 3 magic dice hitting on the.
And remember, he is staggered, so you get to re-roll 1 attack dice.
And I have to hit on these swirly ones and 3 dice, and it's doing 2 damage.
2 crits.
I'm gonna re-roll this one.
2 crits. Can I even? I have to get a crit to block this. I am supported because he's the attacker.
Ooh.
So I got support. So, well, I got to get a crit anyways, I guess. Doesn't matter.
I apologize. I had to go and take care of.
Alright, that's 2 damage.
So that is going to be enough to finish him. Marshall Falk inspired. Finally died. It's a shame. Such a nice paint job. Too bad he's
That
not
is a
done
nice
yet.
paint job.
A little bit of wash yet and some highlights, and he's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so I get 1 glory point for that.
You get 1 glory point, and you can place a token there if you like.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to place.
And it's amazing for those who have never painted before or are intimidated by painting how much a nice wash will just clean up all of your mess.
And then I have this other
Alright,
attack action.
I got a reaction card to play. Reaction cards can happen in between. It's kind of like an interrupt to play.
I saw this other.
Yes, but this is a reaction. Because you just killed my guy. Okay. Reaction play. Play this after an enemy fighter's attack action takes a friendly fighter out of action. If the fighters were adjacent to each other, we weren't adjacent to each other, so it doesn't matter, I guess.
Never mind.
Can't play that one. I should have read it better before I played it.
That's
so
okay.
can I put +1 damage on a beast then?
You can put +1 damage on a beast, yes. The thing you cannot do with beasts is you can't give them like a secondary weapon. You can't give them like a hammer because they're beasts. They don't want to carry extra stuff around.
I have this reaction card after friendly fighter attack action that takes an enemy fighter out of action. This card is in your hand. Give this upgrade to a friendly fighter. This does not cost any glory points. I'll put it on.
So that's +1 wound or +1 attack?
Damage to range 1 and 2 attack actions.
Okay, but it's not like a weapon. You're not giving her a weapon. It's just like an ability. Okay, then you're good.
It just has +1 damages. That's all.
Okay.
It's like giving Wolverine an extra claw.
Yeah. Well, in this case, the beast's going to take a claw.
Oh, wow.
And
But
then,
if it's simply just making her meaner, it's good.
Yeah.
and I need 2 more of the yellow dice. And then I have this attack action dozen. It's range 1 and 3 dice doing 1 damage onto the big dude, and I'm hitting on swords and half moons.
I don't have any support.
At sword and half moon.
So 2 successes.
Yep.
2 successes.
Yeah.
I need a crit. Did not.
So it's gonna do 1 damage.
1 damage on the big man.
And we are demoing Warhammer Underworld here on the NerdCast tonight with Frank and Zach Bacon and Comm Armory. For those just tuning in.
You good over there, Zach?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, my turn then. So what do we got? A charge. Got 1 guy dead.
You have this dude left.
Yeah, I have him left too yet. Remember, I have 5 guys, so I actually do. I got more. When I'm full strength, I have more guys than I have activations. Some war bands go up to 6. I
Okay.
have 6 models. The most I've seen is 6. There might be a 7 out there. I'm not sure.
I think it'd be like goblins or something a little
Yeah.
weaker.
Usually they go anywhere from about 3 to 6, though.
Okay.
The 3-man war bands are usually pretty tough dudes.
Sure. As individuals, but yeah.
I think we gotta activate the big man here. Sir Jedran Falseborn. And I think he's got to attack. We might as well attack the hammer guy. He has 1 wound on him already, yes?
Yes, you need 3, and I get 2 dice, and I get to reroll 1 of the dice if I don't.
That's fine. I got support too.
And I also have support on him as well.
Yes, you do. Well, we have to take a chance. We got to do something somewhere.
Right?
We have 1 success.
I get 2 dice. Saving on shields, half moons, and crits. I got a half moon, so I
So you
saved
blocked it. All right. So that was just an attack action.
So now it's a power step then.
Now it's a power step. Yep.
And after this, then it's the end phase.
Yes, sir.
Step up into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to attach this this upgrade card. I'm going to spend a glory point to do so. And just because you spend a glory point for upgrades, they still count towards your total amount of glory.
That's
So,
good to know. It's not
right.
like you're spending something and you're not going to be able to keep it.
Right, because at the end of the game, the player with the most glory points, whether they're spent or unspent, is going to win the
Sure.
game.
And I suppose when developing the game, they're like, how can we make cards that you can't start with? You have to they're big enough to spend on them. Well, we'll do the glory. We can use the glory points because the glory points are the way to win. and we can make them kind of spend something towards it.
Right.
But they'll still, I mean, that's a good way without having to add a whole nother mechanic. Because
Exactly.
you know someone was like, well, maybe we'll start them with 3 things that they can turn over or something like that. Well, they didn't earn that then. So,
Right.
yeah.
So this is a family bond reaction. After this fighter's activation, push this fighter 1 hex towards the closest other friendly fighter. And I'm going to attach that to Helmer Inspired.
And that one is this one?
He's the guy with the axe, yes.
He's got the helm of awesomeness.
Zach, do you have any power cards to play?
No.
Alright, into the end phase then. Clean up the board, check your objectives.
Alright, I believe I have 2 objectives. Tools. So this end phase, if 1 or more friendly fighters are on a feature token in enemy territory,
Ooh,
I have
nice.
1, and each surviving friendly fighter is an enemy territory has 1 or more upgrades. So each have 1 or more upgrades, so I get 2 for that.
Ouch. This is how he beats me, people.
See,
then-
this is not a game of killing. It's a game of glory.
It's a game of glory. You are correct. That's a
And
good
then-
way to put it. A game of
Yeah.
glory.
And then I also have Rapid Raid. So it's an end phase. If each surviving friendly fighter is in enemy territory, which they are, so
Oh,
I get
wow.
1 right there.
And his warband moves fast, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
This would have been a good situation for me to set up a long board instead of a
Yeah.
narrow board.
You can see that, and
And I'm
now you
gonna
can see how much
discard my
glory he
last card.
has.
Okay. I'm going to discard all of my objective cards.
And I'm also going to discard my blue cards as well.
It's for the glory of love.
I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to keep both of those.
Okay.
I'm going to draw 3 new objective cards.
Okay.
And I'm going to refill my hand of power cards. We have to have 5 cards in our hand when we start the next turn. And I am full. I have a special treat for Zach here if I can pull it off here. So. Alright. Let's roll off. So you're going to go first. Oh, gotta flip these back over.
Okay.
It just helps to keep track of what activation count we're on.
Right. So, okay, so each side has 4 activation. I was kind of waiting for this, and now he's only got 3 characters. So can someone activate twice?
If all they do is an attack action,
Yes.
they could do an attack action again.
Okay.
They can move more than once, so they
Okay.
could move once and then they could move again in a later activation.
Okay.
But they could not charge on the second one.
Okay.
If you do a charge, it's what they call a super action because it
Okay.
allows you to move and attack. They cannot do 2 of those. So once,
Okay.
if he declares a charge, they're pretty much done for that round.
Okay.
But there are other things he can do besides move his characters or attack too. He can do things like draw a power card.
Okay.
He can also discard an objective card and draw a new one for an activation. Or he can simply just pass if he doesn't have anything else to do.
Okay. Well, it's just one of those things that I was kind of waiting for the right time here to bring this up, because it's like now you have 3 characters, there's 4 activations. What about warbands with 3? But there's other things you can do. It's not always, but you can always attack if you're already there.
Right. Like,
You're
like
just
here,
not charging.
like here, how we're in base, we're in contact with each
Yes.
other right here. We're one's hex away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can just sit there and keep attacking each other all 4 turns if neither
Okay.
one of us don't move.
And that was going to be my next question: is can you just use all 4 activations in that instance?
You can't use them all at once.
Okay.
So you can use your one, and then we alternate
Yes.
back and forth.
Yep.
These guys with the bows in here, they're actually really good at that because they got range 3 attack with the bows. And you can actually upgrade them to have range 4. So you can pretty much plant them on an objective in your own territory and just keep lobbing arrows at them as they come
Nice.
towards you. So they're kind of good for that. We just sit
Okay.
there and just, if one guy's in range, he can just keep shooting while the other guys do nothing.
Perfect.
Alright, this is round 3 now.
This is the last turn right here. It's all the glory now.
I have 1 crit.
1 crit and nothing else. Sweet. I have 1 crit and 1 full moon. I am going first this time, sir.
You got a lot of glory to make up.
I have a lot of glory to make up.
You gonna make that up?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. You
All
got
right.
a plan?
I think so.
Okay, good. I hope you do.
I think so. I think the first thing we got to do is we have to do Velmorn himself and get him back into the fight here. He's kind of out of action here at the moment. So he's got a movement of 3. He's going to pull off a charge. We're going to charge the big man with the hammer because he's got 1 wound already. So we're going to go around the snare because we don't want to take damage for going through it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 around the snare. And now we have support. 1, 2 supports. The king gets 2 attack dice. He's looking for hammers, doing 3 damage. He's got Grievous, so if I roll a crit, it does 1 additional damage. And we're supported, so we're hitting on half moons and full moons as well. So basically, we're hitting on anything except for swords here at the moment.
All right.
We have 2 successes. So Zach, you're going to need a crit.
Alright, well, I have 2 dice. And
Well, you could block them both that way too.
And I'm
You
getting
do
out
not have
shield.
support this time, so
I got 1 shield, but I have this 1 card that I can reroll 1 dice.
okay.
And I got a crit.
Oh, so nothing happens there. That's the end of his activation, so he's going to take a counter, which is going to allow him to support everybody else on the battlefield. Power step. Reaction. Play this during a friendly fighter's attack action. After the declare action step, that attack action has cleaved. Too late for that. Didn't take him out of action. All right, I got something special for Zach here.
All right.
I'm going to play this one. This is why I like playing this army. I wish I had a few more of these cards, actually. The king is in play, so we can do this. It's called Rise Again. Remove 1 command counter from your leader. When you do, place 1 friendly fighter that is out of action on a starting hex in your territory.
Ooh.
Give that fighter 1 rise counter. Then give the fighter wound counters until that fighter is vulnerable. What vulnerable means is he's got 3 total wounds. Vulnerable means he has 1 left.
Okay.
So he's going to keep his 2 wound counters he has on him, and I'm going to place him on this starting hex right here.
Arise,
So
Serpentor.
He's automatically going to support Falseborn this way by placing him there, but he does have 2 wounds. The downside to doing this is Zach only has to do 1 more wound to him, and he gets another glory point.
Oh.
So it's kind of a chance you take,
Sure.
but it is fun to
I
do.
have this upgrade card that's going to have +1 wound on one of my guys. So now he's a large guy.
All right. So large is any model that has more than 4 wounds. They actually count as 2 glory points at that point when you kill them.
Okay.
So if they have 5 or more, they count for 2 glory. I don't have anything else to play, Zach.
I'm going to play this upgrade card. Reaction. After this friendly fighter's activation, if this fighter is holding an objective, enemy territory, remove the objective token from the battlefield and pick 1. Give this fighter a charge token or break this card. Break this card meaning that I just have to, the card gets discarded right away. And I'm also going to play this Gambit Ploy card, where it gives upgrades to everybody, but I can only choose 1 for the first turn. And now it's my turn. Get the flip here.
I'll get it.
I'm going to activate Sarkeen Inspired. After I place these 3 cards down, because it gives me an extra glory point if I reveal these cards at the beginning of the turn.
At the bottom of the cards, it tells you how much each objective is worth for glory points.
Yep.
It's usually 1, 2, or 3. I've never seen more than 3, but it doesn't mean that there's none out there.
Right.
And the first one is Oath and Slaughter. You may reveal this card at the start of your first turn in a round, then return it to your hand. Score this immediately after. A second or succeed enemy fighter is taken out of action in the same round, or a large fighter enemy is taken out of action. If you reveal this card, gain 1 additional glory point. And then the next one, Duel. You may reveal this card at the start of your first turn. Turn in a round and turn it back into your hand. Score this in end phase. If each surviving friendly fighter has 1 or more charge tokens, when these friendly fighters is in enemy territory. And then I get 1 additional glory point if I revealed it.
So what he's doing is he's revealing these objectives to me, so I know what he's trying to do. And by revealing them, if he succeeds with them, he gets 1 extra glory point for each one that he does.
And then score Surge Hybrid. You may reveal this card at the start of your first turn in a round and return it to your hand. So it's after your warband removes an objective token in enemy territory, or your warband takes an inspired enemy fighter in enemy territory out of action.
That's a lot of objectives you have down there, Zach.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing is, with the objectives, him telling you, even though you're going after certain objectives, that might actually stop you because you know what he has to do.
Exactly.
So it's not only that he could get it and get extra, he could actually put a damper on what you need to do because now you're going, oh, I can't get I'm going to have to try to stop that.
Because now I got to try to stop what he's going to do,
Right.
otherwise he's going to get 6 glory points if he succeeds with all of those.
So I'm going to activate Sakar Inspired. I'm going to give him his upgrade, so +1 wizard level.
What does that do?
So my guy has a wizard level of 2, which is that looking thing right there.
Okay.
And that would give him 2 dice for the wizard stuff right here. That tells you how many dice you have to roll.
Yeah.
But with this +1 wizard level thing I have on here as a upgrade thing for 1 round, it gives him +1 wizard level. So now he has 3 wizard level for this 1 turn.
So he gets an extra dice.
Jeez.
Yeah, that warband's pretty tough.
So I'm going to attack him with my wizard.
Not
power,
the king!
and he has cleave. So I get 3 dice, doing 2 damage.
And cleave ignores shields on the save, so...
I got 1.
1 swirly. So 1 success?
Yep.
And that has cleave, you said?
Yeah.
So I save on shield, so if it has cleave, I cannot save against it. I can get crits, though. So I get 2 dice with him inspired. Oh, I need defense dice, not attack dice. So I need at least 1 crit to save him. We do not. So how many damage is it doing? 2 damage. He has 2 damage left.
Okay, and then I also have this extra attack action, range 1. I'm going to attack him with it.
Oh, he's going for Marshall Falk. He's got it out for Marshall Falk, I tell
He
you.
does.
So I get 3 dice, hitting on swords, and that's it. And it's going to do 1 damage if I hit. So
That's all you need to kill him is 1.
I got 2 crits.
Ouch.
Ay,
I
caramba.
gotta get a crit on 1 dice. Marshall Falk, you might die again, buddy. Sorry. Let's see. See if we can get a crit.
Let's see.
Can you roll a crit? We cannot. He dies again.
So I got 1 glory point.
Get another glory point. And that's the price you pay for bringing these guys back sometimes.
And then this reaction card has this side activation. If he's holding an objective enemy territory, remove it. And then I can either break this card or give him a charge stick. I'm gonna break the card.
And we remove this.
Yep. And then
Now this is going to go into the pool of available feature tokens. So
Oh.
if we kill somebody, we can actually put this back on the board.
Nice.
And then I have this one. Since I revealed it, I get +1. Your warband removes an objective token in enemy territory, which I did just get. So
Yes,
I get 2.
so you get 2 for that. He had learned this warband very, very good.
I would say so.
We did a tournament at the store about a month ago, and he took a good 2nd place, was
By
it?
1 point.
He lost the tournament by 1
Wow.
point. So the guy that beat him had the same warband. He actually kind of helped him along to help the
Sure.
other guy along,
Yep.
and he ended up beating him by 1 point.
I like it when, even if you're in a tournament, and when I play...
Was he inspired?
He was inspired.
When I play games, you know, particularly in tournaments, I'm usually not as helpful. But when it's obvious that someone is newer or isn't playing, and you know they can play it better with what they've done, you got more knowledge, I like to help them out. Just hopefully not to my own detriment.
You're right. This game lends itself really well to that, too. Like, usually we do the tournaments.
Yeah.
We do just like what they call an evening clash.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll play 3 different opponents usually. And just one turn, we take an hour each turn, which is usually plenty of time. I mean, we're kind of going slow here tonight.
Well,
But
yeah.
usually when we're just playing, it's 20 minutes, so half an hour per game usually.
Well, if we went really fast, we wouldn't be explaining anything.
It wouldn't be much of a show.
That wouldn't be good.
Okay, power step then, Zach.
I don't have anything.
All right, I'm going to do this. Surprising swiftness, +2 movement to the first friendly fighter other than a large fighter to make a move action in the next activation. Got this as a reaction to your killing my guy there. Play this after an enemy fighter's attack action that takes a friendly fighter out of action. If the fighters were adjacent to each other, deal 1 damage to the attacker. So he's going to take 1 damage for killing my guy.
I has 4 left.
That's fine. Alright. So I got... What did we do? We did a charge before. We didn't put a charge token on. We got to remember to do that. What we're going to do this time now is we're going to charge with Thane 4th and last. He is going to have +2 to his move, so he can move up to 5.
Nice.
And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, right over here. And you can move through your own models. They don't block you from moving.
Oh, that's nice. That's something sometimes you can't do. You can't move through an opponent.
You can't. As far as I know, you can't move through an opponent. It's never really come up. Some of the guys can fly, but in this case here, we went through our own guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attack your master with Thane 4th and last. He is not inspired yet, but we're working on it. He has trip, so if we get a critical on this hit, that's going to stagger your target. And a crit will inspire him. He's supported by Falseborn, and the king has got his command token, so he's also supported by the king. And we're going to get 2 attack dice. Looking for double swords, half moons, full moons, and of course crits are always good.
Crits are always excellent.
We got 1 success.
I had 2 dice with dodges.
No dodges. He is going to take 2 wounds. Didn't get any crits. Wasn't supporting. Let me see here. Score this in end phase. Dual score that in end phase. Don't have that one yet. So power step, decapitating blow, reaction. Play this if they're during the friendly fighter's attack action. Okay, I should have did that one. Alright, Father's Pride. Play this after a friendly fighter's successful attack action. Give your leader 1 command counter, then push your leader up 1 hex. We will give him a command token.
Nice.
Now he has 2 command tokens.
Ooh la la.
And we get to push him up 1 hex, so we're going to push him right in between these 2 guys.
Oh, interesting.
Little extra support.
Mm.
Alright, that's all I have, Zach. Do you have anything?
No.
Alright, your second activation of turn 3.
Alright, I'm going to charge with Crimson Chimera. I'm going to go right here and charge and attack on her, him.
Out of curiosity, why are you charging and not just doing an attacking? Because you were already
Because
adjacent.
if each of my family fighter have a charge token on, I get this my objective zone.
Ah, I see.
So he also has
Going for the glory.
+1 damage to the fighter's range 1 and range 2 attack action. So I'm gonna do clawed axes, range 1, so it's gonna do +1 damage. I get 3 dice, hitting on swords and doing 3 damage. I
Yeah,
got
you're
1 sword.
You're definitely correct. He definitely knows what he's doing.
I taught him well. Too well, I think. Too well.
The son has
one success you had?
Yes.
The son has exceeded the father.
Just with this warband.
Oh, okay.
He plays me pretty well. There is a warband that comes in these guys here, the Wraith Creepers, and they can go toe to toe with these guys. They're ghosts. They go right through the block things. They can go wherever they want. Basically, they fly.
If you know what's going on with them, they're very dangerous.
That's Helmar the Hewer. Yes. He gets 1 dice, looking for shields. He's got support from the king, so half moons. Half moon, we have a success. Your power step, sir.
Don't have anything.
So I'm gonna run out of cards here myself.
Dun, 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 dun,
He's got dodges, he's got shields, they all got shields, huh? Okay, that's good to know. Alright, big man, Sir Jedran Falseborn's going to attack your boss. He's just going to do an attack action.
And then am I supported since he's right behind
He
me?
is, because he's the attacker, so you have support right there, yes. Alright, so we have 2 dice. Looking for swords. We have triple support with the king being there, the king himself, and Thane fourth and last. So anything except for hammers. Crits are always welcome in my rolls. I get so few of them. Got 1 hammer and 1 double support, so I got 2 successes. You need a crit, and of course he gets it.
Nice.
Oh. All right. I have nothing to play in the power steps,
I also
so
have nothing.
go ahead. Your 3rd activation of the 3rd round.
Is there going to be another round?
It only goes 3 rounds.
Okay.
So at the end, I have 1 more activation. Zach has 2 after that. It's for all the glory, and I got some work to do.
You got a
I'm
lot of
going
work to do.
activate Goro Spine Hammer. I'm going to charge him right. I'm going to charge him. I'm going to charge him 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to attack your boss.
Okay, he has 2 wounds left on him.
So it's range 1, having 2 dice, doing damage of 3. I got 1 crit.
1 crit.
Nice.
Alright, I get 2. I am supported. So, shields or half moons.
You need a crit.
I need a crit.
Let's see some beautiful dice rolling.
And we got a crit. Right there it is. See that? Right.
That.
So then can I knock your guy back then?
You can push him, yes. You can push him 1 square away from your guy. He's got to be 1 hex farther away than he started. That is something we haven't really done much, but when you have a successful attack, you can choose to push your opponent away.
Okay.
Sometimes they can get pushed into blocked areas where they cannot go. Then they actually take an extra wound, I believe. I'd have to double check that, but it's called being trapped.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. That's Valentine's Day.
All right. Power step.
I have nothing.
Alright, I have nothing as well. My last activation of the game. I think we have to. Let's see, Sir Jordan Falseborn did a attack before, so he is free to move or charge yet. Your boss has only got 1 wound counter left. 2, that's right, because he's got an upgrade on him. I could do 3 damage if I could get one to go through. Alright, we're going to try that on your boss. I really wish I could get him inspired. He's a lot easier to hurt people with if he's inspired. But so he's going to get 2 dice looking for swords. He's got support from this guy right here. And the king has got command counter, so we got double supports there. So swords, half moons, full moons, and crits are always welcome.
Nice.
We got a crit and a success.
I get 2 dice.
No crit, so we are going to kill him with 3 damage. And a glory point.
2 because he's large.
Oh, 2 because he's large. Perfect, because he gave him that upgrade. That's perfect. And since we got a crit, that means Sir Jedran Falseborn is now inspired. Now he hits on hammers instead of swords, which makes him way easier to hit with. But now it's game over.
This one's out of action.
All right, Zach. So you have 2 charge tokens, so you cannot charge again.
Yeah, I'm done.
You can discard objective cards. You can discard power cards.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, he is done. So now
I have this one because I have charge tokens on all my guys.
okay.
So I get 2 for that.
Wow.
All right. So score this in an end phase. If 3 or more surviving friendly fighters are inspired, I have 1, 2, 3 of them. Yes, so that is
Nice.
2 glory points.
All right, you're gonna need them.
I'm gonna need them. I don't think I'm gonna catch them here, but we're gonna
Okay.
try. Duel. Score this in an end phase if there are 1 or fewer surviving enemy fighters and there are 2 or more surviving friendly fighters.
Oh, you didn't get that.
There are 2 or more surviving
Friendlies.
I had to kill 1 more guy.
Yep.
So we do not get that one. That one would have been 3 glory point.
That would have been nice.
Surge. Score this immediately after an activation if a friendly leader is the only surviving leader. Yes, I just killed his leader, so I get 1 glory point. And at the end, Zach, I have 7 glory. How many do you have?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
11 glory. I held him to less than he usually gets.
All right.
Good game, Zach.
Of course.
And that is Warhammer Underworlds.
Yeah. So once again, you just do a kind of a little wrap up on this again, where you can get this, price points, where would you start?
Best place to start is probably Saturday morning to come into North Comm Armory about noon and pick up the new season of Warhammer Underworlds. It will be called Weird Hollow.
Weird Hollow.
Weird
All right.
Hollow. It's going to have a Tzeentch warband in it, so it's going to have some demon stuff going on.
Nice, nice.
And it's going to have some Stormcast Eternal Wizards in there as well. They're going to have kind of a neat dynamic where we each have a leader, which is has a little crown on the card right there.
Yep.
That tells you who the leader is of each warband. The new warband is a 3-man warband. The Stormcast Eternals is going to be. They don't have a dedicated leader.
Oh.
So when one of them inspires, they become the leader of the pack. And when another one inspires, they uninspire, and the other guy becomes the leader of the pack.
That'll
So
be interesting.
it's going to be a 3-man warband, so it's going to bring a little bit different dynamic to the game.
Sure.
Like I say, you got the Tzeentch warband. Anybody knows anything about the lore of fantasy
Yep.
or Age of Sigmar or 40k knows that Tzeentch is he's a wizard. He's big into the magic, so he's going to be casting spells every turn. Everybody in his warband is going to be casting a lot of spells. So it's going to be a lot of magic That'd be the best place to start. Like I say, it's going to be $95 on the box, but release weekend, I'm going to give 15% off.
Oh, that's nice of you.
So it's going to, I don't know, about what, $84,
Yep.
I think, something like that.
Otherwise, they can go to...
Or they can go to NorthCommArmory.com and order it. It's up for pre-order right now, as a matter of fact.
All right. And you have other games and stuff, too, again. Bolt Action.
Blood Red Skies is a little hard to come by right now. I'm trying to source that again, but it's really popular right now. We got Age of Sigmar. We got Bolt Action, like you said.
40K.
We got 40K. What else do we
Plus,
have?
there's board games and all that kind of stuff within the store.
Lots of board
Magic.
games. Bestsellers. We have all kinds of best-selling board games there. Top 40 right now is in stock. We have Magic. We got some selection of Pokemon down there. Pretty much everything you expect in a game store.
Sounds good. All right. What about this here? All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us, everyone who popped in. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, follow, subscribe, share, and all that. I want to do a special thank you to the subscribers here quick. All right, once again, here tomorrow night on the normal stream. That is May 3rd for those watching this on YouTube, and you'll be able to see that video if it's much later. We are doing Stratego Between Amigos between Greg Berlin and I, and one of us is getting our head shaved live on the stream. So join us for that. Tomorrow night, 7:30 on this channel. Anything else you got?
I think that's it. Again, new season is releasing on Saturday. I hope you guys stop in at the store, check it out. We will be doing demos with the starter box beforehand too, so we're going to have a little tournament Saturday evening. You can use the new warbands. You can also use the old warbands. You want to learn how to play, stop on in before 5 o'clock and I'll walk you through a couple of games.
All right. Thank you, Frank and Zach Bacon, for being here. And
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you are most welcome. I think you'll be seeing more of these, I'll call them one-shots. I wouldn't call them one-shots.
You can call them whatever you like.
Well, I'm going to call them one-shots because this isn't going to be something that's scheduled. It's not like you're coming back next week.
Nope, we're just gonna make it up as we go.
And that's fine with me. I like kind of that. It'll be just a pop-up stream. I don't know.
We'll surprise you guys.
We'll surprise you. All right, everyone. Once again, I am Ryan, the Dork Father Schwartzman for the NerdCast. Thank you. See you tomorrow night.